You are welcome to the Guru's Perspective. Once again, I welcome you with all sincerity and with all joy. And I will ask, Abinisho, like I have always done, please subscribe to this channel, like what you are seeing. Comments are very, very necessary. That's why there's a provision for the comment box. Drop your comments there. They help us. They help us much. We value your comments. Please don't go away without dropping your comment. And of course, share generously. Share it generously. Thank you. You are welcome. As we wait for Supreme Court final decision on our presidential matter, what are few things we could be talking about now that may help us in spite of what Supreme Court verdict will be on the matter pending before that court, the highest court in the land? Like most will say, even Atiku Abubakar has said it, and I've heard it before. Once the court, the Supreme Court decides the matter, there's only one court left, that any person who is not satisfied with the judgment of the Supreme Court can go. But that court, which is superior to the Supreme Court, that any person who is not satisfied with judgment of Supreme Court can go. There are no legal processes. There are no constitutional provision to allow you to get there, because it is the court of God. There is no constitution governing in unification, the earth and heaven. If God sits in the heaven, that we now say, okay, these are the processes in which you can file your appeal from Supreme Court to God. Meaning, you will return back home and wait patiently until the day of God's judgment on that particular matter that bothers you will come into effect. And of course, I am not too sure that God in his magnanimity would be looking at these cases. Okay, it is when the end of the world is coming, when God will come for final judgment, that I am not even too sure whether the case of either Atiku Abubakar versus Bola Tinubu, the one of Buhari versus Obasanjo, the one of Russia versus Ukraine, will be tabled by God one after one, the other. No, I don't think so. So the Supreme Court had received the appeal. It is now the domain of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. Then we now have revelations, which have been issued. I had said it, and that is my own opinion. Without giving value to what the judgment of Supreme Court will be, because such things will never be found on that. Because I had said it that if all the past presidents are to be taken into record, at the end of the day, the judgment will leave the winner a winner. More so, when we have not developed beyond that stage, that except the judiciary have an input, we have not been able to elect our president by the procedures elaborated by the Constitution. That is, the people, the electorate, to go and cast a vote. No, we have always waited for the judiciary to appoint or select or give us a president after the rigors of election. For example, the February 25th general elections, the March 18th, here were two elections that gulped and crept and moved from Nigeria economy about 400 billion. Where is the justification for that humongous amount in the way we now end up facing? But going to the Supreme Court or going to the judiciary is very, very good for every of our election cycle. It is good. It is good because it is harvest time for some people. For example, let me give this example. The lawyers, according to the old man, senior advocate of Nigeria, Robert Clark, he said that the lawyers that they call election time, harvest time. And he alluded that they said the judiciary are equally taking money. He said, but this is what we heard without evidence. So if I should follow his example, yes, this is what we heard without evidence. The judiciary probably might be benefiting, but it is harvest time. As long as it is harvest time, then it is good for both the judiciary and the bar. Take, for example, the governor of Kano State, who was elected under the platform of NNPP, in Nigerian political party, under Kwankwaso, His Excellency Senator Rabi Kwankwaso. I just lost election by the tribunal. The tribunal deposed him. But now, you know what he did? He has now looked at moving forward, because from the tribunal, being governorship election, it goes to a court of appeal. From court of appeal, it ends at Supreme Court. So he looks at the future. Then he said, the best thing I should do, let me change my lawyers. Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Wole Ola Nipekun, the lead lawyer for Ahmed Bola Tinubu or APC against this battle of PDP and LP, who performed creditably. When the governor of Kano State had dropped his lawyer and they had gone for, and of course, the senior advocate of Nigeria, Wole Ola Nipekun from Ado-Ekiti, would be so merciful with him if he even charged him only 5 billion or 10 billion. That is harvest time for the lawyers. Can you see what I'm talking about? So all this, when shall we put an end to it? How will an end come into it? These are things we must look in order to make sure that we follow the trajectory that will return us back to decision of having a president must not be vested with the judiciary. It must be vested with the electorate. Let our election finish the matter without going to court. That has been the glory of America democracy. That has been the glory. They have no room for the judiciary. No. It was only Donald Trump that tried it. And when he tried it, Donald Trump is suffering from it today. I don't think there will be another American president within the next future that will now want to do what Donald Trump has done. So let us come back home. If election time is for 4 years cycle, is harvest for the lawyers and for the judiciary. What is it therefore for those that are contesting? For Nigerians that are really expecting to have their own president through their choices, which they displayed, which they manifested through the ballot box and the ballot paper. Because we know that as long as either the judiciary or the bar, the lawyers are benefiting tremendously from this, which is why they now name it our harvest time has come. They will want to perpetuate it. They will want to do everything possible to make sure that there is continuity in this journey. But then, the electorate, the elector that went to pick his permanent voter's card and went to the ballot and followed the processes, and it was ordained that, yes, by the beavers, you are qualified. Go and cast your vote. The expectation of the voter is never met. When the president they voted for never emerged until judiciary will decide this is the one. So this we need to correct, because that would have been named pure democratic processes, via electionary processes. That would have been better off. So for that reason, let us now see what really is the issue. The issue, as I was told by a lot of lawyers which I consulted, is the Evidence Act. And until the Evidence Act is amended, we will remain in this vicious cycle. What does it take to amend the Evidence Act? Because the Evidence Act had brought a preponderance that the umpire of our elections in Nigeria, like as we have now, INEC is superior in number, in facts, in naming everything. This is what the Evidence Act had given to INEC. So when INEC goes to court in this matter we are discussing now, INEC is not in court as a witness. INEC is in court as a defendant. INEC is one of those that the loser who is now becoming a petitioner, writing, sending cases to court. INEC is another defendant. Apart from, for example, the PDP with Atiku Abubakar, we first of all talk INEC. We talk of the presidency. We talk of this. Then another. So INEC is never coming to court as a witness. Instead, INEC is coming to court as a defendant until the Evidence Act that are given that responsibility to INEC is amended. As long as INEC appears in court as a defendant, INEC will never compromise its own right by telling you that, yes, I conducted the election and the election were not properly conducted. I was guilty because what the petitioner want to prove in court of law is that the election were not properly conducted. There is overvoting here, there is that, and the only one person that is expected to authenticate it is INEC. So it is for this reason that people like Papa Robert Clark called it a move against the heel. It is not. So if we really want to do this without going to, yes, if it happens that we were able to remove this thing, the lawyers will not be happy, the judiciary will not be happy. But then, shall we, because of harvest period of lawyers and judiciary, denied the electors, you and I, not to be able to vote our president we wanted? No, we must stop it. How do we go about it? I will recommend that we listen to Robert Clark, Papa Robert Clark. He's very, very senior advocate of Nigeria. He has spoken about that thing. If we follow this, I think we'll come. Have a listen. I will return back.
Today, the problem in Nigeria is the brainchild of us, all of us Nigerians. We are all crooks. Let me be clear with you. We are all crooks in Nigeria. We always find a short way to any law. Do you know what we lawyers called election time in Nigeria? Don't let anybody deceive you. We call it our harvest time. We make money. And when we make the money, people are claiming that the judiciary also makes money without proof. But we know we lawyers are making money. The judiciary is making money. Everybody is making money during election time. But all will end in chaos. Why? Today, virtually every gubernatorial case is before the tribunal. How long will we continue in Nigeria that every time we go into election, there is trouble in Nigeria? Why? The law says there is a preponderance of truth in what INEC tells the court. When INEC presents a document to court, there is the truth, a preponderance of attached to that document. So the law itself has given INEC the power that whatever it does is presumed by law. That's a presumption. The law says, oh, INEC is INEC. But don't we know what we to do? We know what to do. Just amend the Evidence Act. That section that deals with presumption of innocence attached to government document should be removed. So that when INEC is going to do an election, INEC will be the first witness to go to the box in any election to say, oh yes, I conducted the election in this state. There were 36, this thing. Here are what I did, this. And then everybody will now start cross-examining INEC whether the papers it has presented is correct or not. But what do you have now? A petitioner petitions. When the law says what INEC has done is presumed to be correct and is challenging it, no way. Because the most thing that brings problem in Nigeria is election. Let us be correct. That's the only incident. Every 4 years, we nearly tear the country into two. What happened